Hello, good morning, welcome to a new video, and today I'm going to be unboxing my favourite sketchbook in the world, the Pith Sketchbook. Okay, so Pith have just brought out these two new sizes in their sketchbooks. These are absolutely gorgeous. I think they're handmade sketchbooks. My favourite thing about these is the binding. Can you see this binding here? It means that they open totally and completely flat. So this is their smallest size, which I filled this so quickly, and it felt like such an achievement as well to complete a sketchbook. I've done a flip through of this before, but as you can see, pretty much every page is a full spread. Really nice if you're working on like a daily drawing challenge, that it's a nice kind of small, if you see compared to my palm, a nice small space to work on every day. And as I said, I got through it really quickly, so it really felt like a sense of achievement to finish it. One of my favourite things about this though is the way it takes colour, and especially watercolour mediums. So that's the smallest one. This is their landscape one, which is like an A5 size. So these two new sketchbooks open up this way, whereas this is like the landscape. And here you can see how I've used watercolour in these, and I just love the way that it just sits on the page. I just love the effects that you get. I love the kind of granulation. I just think it's so beautiful, and as someone that really likes the combination of like fluid work with something very stagnant and still and tight like drawing, this is great for me because it's a smooth surface, so I can draw really easily with my fine line pens, things like these. I use my Unipin all the time. So it's perfect for drawing, but at the same time, it's a really nice kind of watercolour-y paper, so it really holds the water really well for wet medium. So this is absolutely perfect if you work in mixed media. If you are a watercolour artist, you might find that the paper buckles very slightly. It's not going to take loads of water. I think you would need a proper watercolour sketchbook for watercolour, but if you're working in mixed media and you're combining dry with wet, then this is a really great sketchbook to work in. I also have this one, which is the biggest one. I can't even fit it on the page. So this size here, which is slightly bigger than A4 actually, because I've tried to scan this on my scanner and it was, yeah, slightly bigger than A4. So yeah, lovely, massive size. And the perfect thing about this, again, it opens out to a double page spread. Ooh. So like this one, let's move you up a bit. There. So then you can just about see the entire spread. And again, it's completely flat. I love that you've got loads of room to work on, like it's one big piece, one big sheet of paper. Here again, and it just, I love how it takes the water, so the watercolor mediums. I use a lot of my Neocolor 2s as well on this paper, and then I build up the color with, again, Neocolors just dry, but also colored pencil. So I use a lot of colored pencil on this, and obviously you can see all the detail I've got with my pen. That's one nice thing, the pen doesn't bleed when you're working on this. Here's some abstracts that I did. Again, layering up different media. So yeah, I feel like there's a lot of things you can achieve with this sketchbook. Here's another favourite. So I've gone in with mixed media colour. This is watercolour, Neocolor 2s that I have water activated, and then pencil over the top. And then I've used a black fine line pen to do all of the drawing work. So I really love this. I want to compare these because it's a tall claim that this is my favourite sketchbook in the world, because it's very closely followed behind by the moleskine. So I wanted to compare these for you. So yeah, the small moleskin here, I just love the smoothness of the paper. I love it. And it does hold up pretty well to mixed media. So this is a very, very close second for me. But the only thing is it doesn't always lie completely flat. You've always got a tiny little kind of bump in the center. I don't know if you can see that very well. It's not completely flat compared to this, which almost just feels like one sheet of paper. Very flat. So that's the only thing, but yeah, I do absolutely love these. I'd say they're probably similar in price. These obviously are nice with the elastic on them. This is my cheap sketchbook that I'm using at the moment. It is an Artway Studio sketchbook. This is actually quite nice. It's 170 GSM paper. So it's really good for how cheap it is, but I'm using it just as a drawing book. So this has been a really nice place to just splurge ideas and not worry too much about wasting really nice paper. But I do love these as well. These are kind of my everyday testing ideas books at the Artway Studio, which I'd say are on a par with the C. White of Brighton sketchbooks, which I always loved, especially at uni and at school. And this is a moleskin again, so really beautiful, and I do love how the moleskin takes colour as well. So beautiful, and again you can layer up with pencil over the top, some nice colour work going on there. This is again just a play book, so I'm just almost testing materials here. Really nice bit of gouache with sort of watercolours behind. So yes, both of these are firm favourites, and if you've seen my favourites video, my top 10 favourite art supplies of all time, then you will have seen these in here. Anyway, let's get to unboxing these new sketchbooks. So I've literally just removed these from the kind of cardboard outer packaging, and this is really sweet. Look at this, Desk Meadow. So I bought these from Pith themselves, from the Pith website. They sent me some seeds that I can plant, little sticker, and a little note, ooh, and some postcards. Oh, these are really nice. Little note, enjoy your Cara Cara and Lumia sketchbooks, love Lizzie. So that's really nice. So as she's packed my order, she's written to me. So these are really nicely kind of wrapped in glassine paper. Almost don't want to take it off. But here you can see, so we've got the 200 GSM, so this is thicker than, let me show you. Okay, so this is thicker than both of the moleskin and the Artway Studio. So this was 170 GSM, this is just cartridge paper, and it is nice, but sometimes you do get a bit of bleed, and the paper does buckle slightly under watery material. The moleskin is a really nice kind of really smooth feel to the paper, but this is 165 GSM. So again, you can see here it does kind of buckle a bit under the water, but it's perfect for mixed media. I've layered loads of stuff on this. So both of these sketchbooks work really well. And if you're looking for a cheaper option, then this is quite a good one to go with, the Artway Studio. But yes, so this, if we get straight into here, beautiful. Loving the size of this as well. So very similar to here. Let's put out a decent page. Very similar size to a moleskin. Yeah, put that on top. It's very slightly comes out of the side, so very slightly wider, but I would say the same in height. So that's really nice. And yeah, beautiful smooth paper as well. So I'm going to do some swatching, I think, on this front page, just so we can play around. And if you ever have the fear of the blank page as well, this is a really nice way to start your sketchbook. There's kind of no pressure, and it doesn't matter if you go wrong because it already looks messy because you've just splurged loads of supplies across. And it also means that if you're ever picking up a supply and you just quickly want to test it, you can flick straight to the front of your sketchbook and just scribble, and it doesn't matter that you're ruining anything. So it's quite a nice little tip. I will just open this one as well a second before we dive into some swatching. So as you can see, they've all got different colours as well. You can select what colour you want when you purchase. Again, gorgeous, huge size there. That's really beautiful. And this feels like it would be nice to do kind of like final pieces in this. Almost you could tape off with washi tape and do scenery, swatch on the other side. It gives me lots of ideas like that. But yeah, great if you're going to do like a double page spread. Go and sit outside and paint the landscape, for example. That would be really, really nice. I do a lot of my mandala orbs, so again, it's got a lot of space. I could do an orb in the centre and then draw around the outside. So I'm really excited to see how I get on with these. I think as well, in comparison to, so this is their really large size, which is beautiful. So as you can see, in comparison to that, it's almost, well, it is bigger actually than half of this. But if you're going to fit this in your handbag, this is not easy to carry around with you. Whereas this one, the Lumia, is a much easier size to carry around with you. Let's have a look at an A4 sheet of paper next to it. So definitely bigger than an A4 sheet of paper, but not quite A3, if that makes sense. So yeah, quite a nice size that you can carry in a tote bag maybe, but this one is even more accessible. So this is an easy one that you could put in your handbag, have a small pencil case just with a few supplies, maybe like this, and do some sketching in a cafe. So yeah, really, really fun. Right, so let's swatch some things in the front. Okay, so I've got loads of supplies out here, and maybe we should actually turn over to this page for our swatching to test out the paper, because obviously this is the paper from the sketchbook and this is the front cover, so this is going to react differently. Anyway, I've got some watercolour here, which is something I really want to delve into, and I've also got here my Neocolor 2s and some of my Inktense blocks as well. So I might just dive in with these to start with and see how these react. So I'm just going to paint these on like it's a little paint palette. That's what I love about these. And they're really pigmented. So again, this is a great way to kind of combat the fear of the blank page. It's just to get some colour down. I quite often do this. I'll do a coloured background and then I'll use that to kind of draw on top of. Let's do that, and then a bit of the pinky colour. So yeah, already you can see it's really beautiful and vibrant. Takes to the page really nicely. I'm going to paint right across the centre as well, so you can see that. So that's those. Have we got some Neocolor here? This is mostly how I work, is I will scribble down on the page first and then I will activate it with water. Let's do that. And then water activated. So obviously you're almost kind of scrubbing at the page a little bit with your brush, so that's why sometimes these cheaper sketchbooks you can sort of really damage the paper when you activate these. So there's a nice wash that you can kind of work on top of. So I'll leave that to dry a second and then we will work into it. Okay, so you can sort of see now it's dry, just the gorgeous effects. Here, look. Look at these, I just love the way it dries on this paper. I think it's so beautiful. Art is such a personal thing as well, so it's down to preference, it's down to the type of work you make, it's down to the way you like to work as well. So I'm just layering things up. So you can see that that just layers really nicely on top. You can get some really nice textures and effects. What else have we got here? Posca pen. I love these. So you can just draw straight over the top. You can dot things. Really nice. But yeah, I think a lot of mixed media is playing. I think half of what I love about being an artist is just playing with my materials, seeing what they can do, push the boundaries. Oh look, if I press really lightly as well, there's a really nice texture going on there. It's almost like a brush stroke. That's really interesting to me. So yeah, I mean, I could play for hours here, but I'll just put down a few things. You can kind of see there's a very slight sort of, there's not really a grain, it is you know, smooth paper. It's like hot press paper basically. But if you want to get texture on it, then you can, you know, just by pressing lightly with a pencil. But yeah, this is why it's so fun to just give yourself some time to play around as well and really see what your materials can do. Look how interesting that is. Just layering things over each other. You can come up with kind of really different ways of working with the materials you have. So this is quite interesting what's going on here. So I've got the coloured pencil over the Posca pen, over the watercolour, and there's some really interesting effects coming on there. And that's the sort of thing I wouldn't have come across unless I would just let myself play. So any other colours? What about this one? This is quite a nice colour. And because this pencil is kind of similar, I mean, it's not the same colour, obviously. So I've got the coral pink in the Posca. But it's this gorgeous, almost like sienna colour. What is this? Sanguine? I'm probably pronouncing that wrong. I'm so sorry. But yeah, it's really nice to then kind of mix tones together. I think that can look really special, really magical. Just layering things up, and yeah, there's some interesting things going on here, things that are peeking out here. Really interesting. So anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this video. This is just a little play. I think I'm going to swatch some of my materials here in the front, have a little play around a little bit more. So I'll probably record that now for you if you wanted to watch me, maybe with my Daniel Smith watercolours. But otherwise, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Lots of love. Bye. Okay, so I'm really pleased with this. I think it's because I love this pink. Anyone that kind of knows me knows I love this pink. But just so fun layering things up. I have got some of these, which are the Cara Cara Super Colour Softs. So these are water soluble. This is what the gorgeous turquoisey one was. It is azurite blue, which is really, really nice, this one. I've also got in here, what was this? Cara orange, and the Ecoline or Ecolina brush pen, which is number 259. So yeah, these are really, really nice, kind of playing around and, you know, pushing the kind of purples. So I've got purples and yellows going on, which is why it then pops so beautifully. Also going in here is some more neutrally colours. So got this one, sepia 10%. So yeah, sepia 10% from the Luminance pencils as well. So you can see how fun it is to just kind of play around with things, layer things up, and you get quite a cool kind of abstract. And it's a really nice way to kind of start your sketchbook. So you could then draw into this. You could even do a drawing and collage it on the top. So if you wanted to make this into, you know, a page or a finished spread type thing, you could use this as a background. You could even stick in like a quote or something, or your intention for your sketchbook, something like that. Or you could leave it like this. It's just a really, really fun way to kind of start your sketchbook. I think I'm going to work into this a little bit more as well. But yeah, I hope this has inspired you. I hope it's helped you to kind of think about loosening up as well, and just pushing the boundaries and trying different things, trying different mediums together. This is one of the most fun explorations. There's kind of no rules, and it's really exciting when you discover that you don't have to do everything in acrylics or everything in coloured pencil. It's just yeah, such a fun adventure, and this is what then helps you to develop your work to becoming your work and your style, because only you are using these materials in this kind of layering effect, and the way you use them. So yeah, I hope you found this inspiring, and I'll see you in the next one. Lots of love. Bye.